Today on Bench Briefs, we're looking at a challenging and deeply human case from the Supreme Court of Canada, R v. Spence. This 2005 decision grapples with questions about criminal intent, mental illness, and how the law treats those who find themselves at the tragic intersection of both. At the heart of this case is Spence, who was charged with second-degree murder following the death of his partner. But this wasn't a straightforward situation. Spence's partner had a documented history of mental illness and self-harm, which complicated how the courts understood the events leading up to her death. The case raised difficult questions about what Spence knew, what he intended, and how his partner's mental state factored into the legal analysis. So, what happened? Spence and his partner were in a relationship marked by emotional struggles and mental health issues. On the day in question, his partner died under circumstances that suggested self-harm, but Spence was charged with second-degree murder. The prosecution argued that Spence's actions or omissions caused her death, while the defense pointed to her mental illness and questioned whether Spence had the necessary intent or knowledge to be criminally responsible. The key legal issues the Supreme Court had to decide revolved around the concept of intent in second-degree murder. To secure a conviction, the Crown needed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Spence had the requisite intent to cause death or serious harm. But there was more. The court also had to consider the defense of automatism or mental disorder. This defense can apply when an accused person's mental state negates the voluntary nature of their actions or their ability to form intent. One of the tricky parts was determining how Spence's awareness, or lack thereof, of his partner's mental health affected his criminal liability. Did he know about her history of self-harm? Did he appreciate the risk his actions posed? These questions are crucial because the law requires a certain level of knowledge or intent for murder charges to stick. In its decision, the Supreme Court emphasized the importance of carefully examining the accused's mental state and the context of the relationship. The court recognized that mental illness in victims can complicate the assessment of criminal responsibility, but it does not automatically absolve an accused person. Instead, focus is on what the accused knew and intended at the time. Why does this case matter beyond its facts? R v. Spence highlights the delicate balance the justice system must strike when dealing with cases involving mental illness, both in victims and accused persons. It reinforces that criminal liability hinges not just on outcomes, but on the accused's mental state and awareness. This case also reminds us of the importance of nuanced legal defenses like automatism, which protect people from being unfairly punished when their actions are involuntary or influenced by mental disorder. For lawyers, judges, and anyone interested in criminal law, R v. Spence offers a valuable lesson in how the law navigates complex human realities. It also underscores the ongoing need for the justice system to adapt and respond sensitively to mental health issues. Thanks for listening to Bench Briefs. Be sure to join us next time when we break down another fascinating Canadian legal case. Until then, take care.